My name is Doug Laidlaw, and this is my story. When I was younger, I never dreamt that you'd have to have, 600 acres just for one man to have a job and still not be able to have a good wage. I never imagined that. I thought, you'd be like my parents and farm 100 acres, and if you did a little bit of custom work and some of this other stuff, you'd be able to make a go of it. My herd size has pretty well doubled since BSE started because we got shifting, trying to figure out how we could make ends meet, and in some ways I think that was a good thing, and other ways I think, well, here's a guy that's working 12 hours a day, 365 days a year just to keep things rolling, and I don't know whether it'll pay off or not. As a family farm, we do have off-farm income to help out. I work here full-time, but my wife works off the farm full-time, and that does help keep the household going. Like in the years that I make absolutely nothing, she brings home the bread and butter that we need to keep the taxes paid and keep the hydro bill paid. I'm not happy with the way things are. I think that, if we shouldn't have to depend on off-farm income just so we can produce food so people in this country can eat. I'm not very happy with that. I think you should be able to produce the food and get paid enough for it that you can pay the bills. For us to get by with no help from government, well, basically we have been doing that because all these programs aren't doing it. We have to get an improved food price. Basically, we have to be able to get some more of the consumer's dollar instead of continually taking less. In the last 10 years, the percent that goes to the farmer has dropped. And it's dropped drastically. And I don't know how you turn that around. The big companies and the people in transportation and the fuel prices and the taxes have all gone on to take a bigger chunk, and what's left over for the guy doing the primary producing has gone down. Family farms are important because they use the services that are local. They're not buying everything from one supplier. They support all the small businesses where a lot of people in the small towns have their jobs. If it goes to all corporate farms, it'll be just a few big players, and they won't need the small towns. It'll be just like when you drive through Moncton right now, you'll see a for sale sign on every second store. And it'll all shut down. The restaurants all shut down because they won't need the coffee shop, because the farmers won't need to come for coffee. If we can't get some of the young ones convinced to start, I think the consumer's going to see the change. They're going to see all this food from Argentina and wherever. And history will tell them what went wrong, because a country that can't feed itself can't sustain itself. If you got to import all your food because you've forced, a generation or two generations out that were producing it just because you didn't want to give them enough to live on. You just have to look to some of these countries in Europe that aren't feeding themselves now. Is that the place you want to be? Do you want to be competing with them for meat from Argentina? For soybeans and corn from Argentina? Sustainability is a big issue, I would say, right across Canada. There's parents out there all over the place trying to figure out how they can get their kids started. I think the kids are probably trying to figure that out too. It'd be sad to see everybody quit and all go to corporate farms and nobody be left to teach the young ones where to start.